If you ever really want to be happy, you really do need to figure out what your actual passion is in this world. You can't get caught up in anyone else's dream or ideas or anyone else's plan for you. If money is your passion, you are going in the wrong direction. Money is not bad. You should always want to make a lot of money. Money's good, but you shouldn't let it be the sole thing that wakes you up in the morning. You shouldn't let it be the thing that drives you. It shouldn't be the thing that makes you work harder. The thing that makes you work harder should be the thing that you love to do. I went down a bad path and ended up fucking myself up and failing because I did put all my passion into something I wasn't passionate about. I relied on my motivation to be dependent on something that was not something I was truly passionate about. I have some examples. In high school, it was a rough time for me at home and in school, money-wise with the family and all that. I was looking for a way out. I was looking for something to support me financially, and it ended up making me fail. In high school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was kind of confused. I knew I did not like school. I did not want to go to college. I did not have the drive for that. I was convinced you have to go into some sort of career to make a good amount of money. I was convinced that you have to go into some sort of program or school or academy to be anything in this world. I wasn't under the impression that you can be a success without school or military or anything like that. I was one of those kids who ran out of options and joined the military. That was a very hard time. It kicked me in gear and got me to where I am today. I would not be who I am without the military. I'm glad everything happened. I sometimes do think about what would have been if I did stay in the military. Honestly, at the end of the day, I really don't think it was the right place for me at that time. I don't think I was emotionally mature enough or strong enough at the time to do it and go forth with it. I signed up for the Marine Corps about a year before I graduated in high school. Had a boot date picked out and everything. I knew the date. It was August 19th, 2019. And we were set to graduate November 13th, 2019, and I was gonna be a Marine. Graduation came around, I graduated, quit my job, and I was just gonna chill until I got shipped off to boot camp. It was a good time. Got into boot camp before I even got in, I went into it with the wrong vision. I went into it with, oh, this is gonna be easy and I'm just gonna get a paycheck every month, and I only am worrying about the financial side of it. I'm not worried about anything else that goes into it. I'm not putting any passion into it. The only thing I'm focusing on is, oh yeah, that paycheck. I'm not worrying about anything that's gonna drive me to do good in this career path. The only thing driving me was the cash, and that was fucking horribly wrong, and it made me fail. My mind was not in it. Throughout boot camp, I got there my first week. The first few days were almost the worst fucking days of my life. They keep you sleep deprived for like 3 days straight, and literally when you go to bed for like the first couple weeks, it's literally blinking you're up, and it sucks. It feels like you get no sleep whatsoever. It's fucking bad. Went through all that camp. The weeks kept on going. Boot camp is 13 weeks in total. I learned some of the most valuable lessons in my life in boot camp. I learned not to be selfish. I learned teamwork. I learned self-improvement. The Marine guys are very obsessed with teaching you how to be the best that you can be, because you need to be the best that you can be to survive in battle, and I get that now. I didn't like it before, but I do understand why they do teach things the way they do. Until I got to the point where I realized this is going to be life. I don't like what I'm doing. I fucking hate this. I have no passion in this. I'm not doing it for any patriotic reason, and I'm sorry if that offends anyone out there. I don't feel as if I owe anyone anything. I'm very thankful to the guys that do it, and I'm glad they are in the headspace to do it, and I'm glad they are protecting our country, and I am very thankful for them every day. Unfortunately, I could not see eye to eye with the military. I had other ideas in mind, and once I realized that the ideas I had in mind were not going to happen, I started to disassociate and disconnect with the idea of being in the United States Marine Corps. I made it to about week 11, and for those of you who don't know what the Crucible is, it's the final mission in boot camp before you become a paper Marine. A paper Marine is basically just you pass everything, you're a Marine on paper, but you don't really become a Marine until boot camp's over. The last 2 weeks of boot camp are basically teaching you how to be a Marine. I made it to the Crucible the last 3 days, and after those 3 days you become a Marine. It was the night before the Crucible, and I knew I had to do something quick because I knew time was running out. Once I'm a Marine, I can't leave then. So I did what I thought was the healthiest for me at the time, and I did what I needed to do to get out of it. I got out of it. It was a bad time. It was hard. I felt weak. I felt embarrassed. I felt unpatriotic. But as the days, weeks, months, years went on, I learned to take the good from it. I didn't let it ruin me. I let it be the thing that's going to make me a very successful human being one day. I took all the good out of it, all the forcing you to be the best that you can be, I did. What I also got out of it was being obsessed with not being a loser, because quitting that made me feel like a loser. So I had so much inspiration to go out and prove myself, but I realized I don't have to prove myself to anyone, and it's actually a good thing just to try and be the best that you can be. I do it for me, not anyone else. I feel good being like this. I went into it for money, and that was the reason for my failure. That is why I failed. I went into it for impure reasons. If you're gonna go into anything in this life for an impure reason, you will fail. I did it again. I made another mistake after. Went to work, was working construction, seen other people starting their own businesses. I thought I can find some type of value in that, some type of passion, some sort of self-worth if I had my own business. Maybe I thought as if I was going to be above everybody else if I had my own business. And I did. I went into it. I started my own business. I started a window washing business. I did it for about 2 years. I did good. I was making my own money. I was 19 years old. I made my first job, made like $500 in like 3 hours. It felt amazing. It felt great. But eventually that dopamine hit of the money ran out, because money isn't something that drives me in this world. Of course I like money, but it's not something that's gonna push me to the end. It's not something that's going to drive me for my entire life. The money got old. And not that I was super rich or anything, but I was comfortable. But eventually the drive for that ran out because I wasn't enlightened. I wasn't, the true passion wasn't in it. I was in it for the money again. And eventually it dwindled off, and I stopped advertising. I sold my truck, and then I went on to another venture. It was good. I realized I made the same mistake again. I put all my time into energy into something that wasn't my true passion, that wasn't true to me. I wasn't living my true self. I was living life through a lens of trying to impress others. The third time in my life where I finally figured out where I'm happy with doing something was right here, YouTube. I like doing this. I don't make any money from it, but I put as much time and energy as I put into the military and my construction business into this, and I'm happier than I ever was with either of those, and I'm not making any money, and that's why I do truly feel as if I found something I'm in love with. Yeah, it's fucking hard sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I don't want to turn on this fucking camera and record and talk into it for a long time. Sometimes I want nothing to do with the camera. Sometimes I want nothing to do with the computer. Sometimes I want nothing to do with writing, journaling, reading, nothing. Sometimes I just feel like giving up. I have no financial incentive to keep going forward, and I keep going. That's how I am positive that this is the path for me, because this does other things for me that money could not, that money can't and never will for anybody. It gives me confidence. Me talking to a camera, dedicating my time to this, it helps me be a better speaker. It helps me get my thoughts and opinions across more effectively. It helps me become more emotionally intelligent, and just helps me communicate better with people, and in return makes me better with people, and in another turn makes me more confident because I feel as if I have no social anxiety. Yes, it's still there, but I know I'm getting to the point where it's not even going to be a thought in my mind anymore, and I am so excited to get there, and that's what propels me to keep making these videos and keep talking, because I am getting something out. I'm becoming more intelligent. I'm learning. I learned that I love learning. I don't love money. Of course I want money from this one day, but it's not important to me. I love this because it's interesting to me. I have a passion for it. I like to do it, versus the window washing in the military where I hated it. I would just kept telling myself, fuck, I'm gonna make $1,000 at the end of the day. This, I have other reasons than money to drive me and push me forward. Like I'm obsessed with communication and talking to people and just getting better and learning how to be loved, learning how to love. I love it. And I feel like that's why I'm doing so well with this, and that's why I'm pumping out all these videos and I'm doing good. And I know I'm not huge yet, but I'm getting there. I'm not putting a time frame on it. I can't put a time frame on it or I will fail. You can't put a time frame on anything you're passionate about in this world. You have to find something that you are obsessed with, something that you like to do, preferably that thing that you like to do, trying to find something that makes you better at what you want to get better at the same time. That is the key to success. Find something that is going to actively make you better at something you want to get better at while you are working on it, and that will propel you to outwork everyone. You have passion for it. If you're miserable in this life, you're probably in a bad spot. Don't stay in a shitty job just because you are gonna feel embarrassed or feel bad that your parents or friends or family may look at you differently. Whose happiness is more important? Yours or theirs? Start listening to yourself, live true to yourself, and never care about what anyone else thinks.